Welcome, Final Fam. So we haven't been in the cryptid vault in a while, so I have a surprise for you. We're back in there today. And today we're going to be talking about the Yeti, also known as the Abominable Snowman. Now, the Yeti is ape-like and humanoid, and it walks upright, and it's similar to that of the Bigfoot. However, instead of living in woodlands and forests, the Yeti lives in mountainous regions and icy areas. The Yeti has white shaggy hair that covers 95% of its body, and the hairs are long and generally white or light colored fur. The Yeti is also said to have enormous physical strength. I'm not sure how much this thing can lift, but it's pretty darn powerful. Its origin is in the Himalayan mountains, which can be found in Asia, Tibet specifically. However, it has been seen in several other areas and regions of the world. As always, if you enjoy videos like this, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so this video can get out to others. Thank you so much for your support. So let's now get into talking about this famous cryptid, the Yeti. Let's now take a look at the comparison between Bigfoot and the Yeti. Well, the Yeti is often compared to Bigfoot, another legendary creature said to inhabit North America. While the two creatures share many similarities, there are also some key differences. Bigfoot is typically described as a large, bipedal creature with hair covering its body, while the Yeti is often described as having white or light-colored fur. Another key difference is the geographic location of the sightings. Bigfoot sightings are primarily reported in North America, while the Yeti is associated with the Himalayan region. The legend of the Yeti, also known as the Abominable Snowman, is an ancient folklore that has been passed down through generations in Himalayan region of Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet. This mythological creature is said to be a large, ape-like creature that walks upright like a human with shaggy, white, or brown fur and a powerful build. Despite the lack of scientific evidence, many locals in the region believe that the Yeti exists and is a significant part of their culture. Okay, so since we've learned a lot about the Yeti, let's talk more about the sightings and dive deeper into that. In circa 300 BC India, Pliny the Elder had a sighting of the Yeti. Alexander the Great set out to conquer Persia and India in 326 BC, penetrating nearly as far as Kashmir. He heard about the strange wild men of the snows, who are described as having large bodies, horns, and legs and feet of an animal. Alexander demanded to have one of them brought to him, but the local villagers said that the creature could not survive at low altitude. Pliny the Elder stated that the creature was extremely swift and could run on 2 feet or all fours. In 1889, Major Lawrence Waddell in northern India reported seeing Yeti footprints. While exploring in northeast Sikkim in 1889, Waddell's party came across a set of large footprints which his servants said were made by the Yeti, a beast that was highly dangerous and fed on humans. The first recorded sighting of the Yeti occurred in 1921 when a British explorer named Charles Howard Bury reported seeing strange footprints while climbing Mount Everest. He was thought of as a real-life procurer of the film Indiana Jones. In the 1920s, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Howard Bury in Tibet was the leader of the Everest reconnaissance expedition. Charles Howard Bury saw something strange when he was crossing Lahakpa La at 20,000 feet. Although Howard was prone to telling tall stories, he did report seeing a wild, hairy man that stood 8 feet and inaccessible in the mountains. Some of the large footprints in the snow led across a trek way out up high into the peaks. Since then, there have been numerous sightings and accounts of encounters with the Yeti, both by locals and Westerners who have visited the region. Many of these encounters have been passed down through oral tradition and have become an integral part of the local folklore. Another sighting was by Major Bill Tillman in northern India in 1937. While contouring the round of the foot of the ridge between 2 feeder glaciers, we saw snow on the tracks of an abominable snowman. They were 8 inches in diameter, 18 inches apart, almost circular, without signs of toe and heel. They were 3 or 4 days old, so melting must have altered the outline. The most remarkable thing was that they were in a straight line, behind the other. In the 1950s, Colonel John Hunt in Mount Everest claimed to have seen Yeti footprints. When he questioned some of the villagers, they mentioned that it was the Yeti, or known as the Abominable Snowman. Intrigued, Hunt continued his expedition to find the tracks. However, they eluded him, disappearing off high into the mountainous range. Another sighting by Sonam Hisha Sherpa in Nepal in the 1960s. Some of the Sherpas climbed the mountainous regions and were attacked. Some of the Sherpas were yak herders and were attacked by the creature. They said that the creature stood 8 feet tall above them and had a foot the size of their leg. 20 years have passed from the 1960s sighting. The yak and cow herders reported that they heard loud whistling and bellowing, sometimes growling late at night, and they were fearful for their livestock. The next morning after the howling, they had found that the meat was not eaten. However, the bones had been ripped from the animals and the intestines and dung were fed upon. One of the most famous encounters with the Yeti occurred in 1951 when British mountaineer Eric Shipton discovered a set of footprints that were dubbed the Shipton Tracks. The footprints measured 13 inches long and 8 inches wide with a distinctive toe shape that could not be attributed to any known animal. The discovery sparked a widespread interest in the Yeti, and many expeditions were launched to search for the creature. Despite numerous sightings and encounters, there's still no conclusive evidence that the Yeti exists. Many scientists and skeptics believe that the sightings can be explained by misidentifications of known animals or hoaxes perpetuated by locals looking to attract tourism. However, the locals in the region continue to believe in the Yeti's existence and consider the creature to be a sacred part of their culture. The legend of the Yeti is an ancient folklore that has captured the imagination of people all over the world for centuries. While there is no conclusive evidence of the creature's existence, the numerous sightings and encounters suggest there may be some truth to the legend. The mystery of the Yeti continues to intrigue and fascinate people, and it remains a topic of debate among scientists and skeptics. So there you have it. You've got more information about the Yeti and what it could possibly be. Now this creature, although it has been super elusive and no one has been able to take really good pictures of it besides the fuzzy ones we see online, the Yeti may definitely exist. So I'm sensing a trend here. Most of the people who have seen the Yeti are either farmers or goat herders or yak herders like they said, or they're people who are ranked in the military that lead expeditions over treacherous terrains. The Yeti sounds like a bad mofo. I would never want to be in an icy area or in the mountains and be caught off guard by this gigantic creature. Let me know in the comments section what you think about the Yeti, if you think it exists, or if you had any sightings of your own. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.